Hello class, welcome to Unit 14, Customer Satisfaction, Loyalty, and Empowerment. Customer empowerment, what is it? This customer empowerment is providing tools that enable customers to take control or influence marketing. Technology makes it possible for the customer to take control or influence marketing, increases the marketer's ability to satisfy needs more effectively, which increases the firm's success. Customer communities. Word of mouth, the passing of information and opinions verbally. Word of mouth has a powerful influence on purchasing decisions. For example, asking other students about the professor of a class you're considering taking. And that's really true because a lot of people go on to different rating sites to see how well their professors rate. Buzz refers to the amount of word of mouth going on in a market. Companies try to create buzz about their products by sending press releases, holding events, offering free samples, writing blogs, and releasing podcasts. Word of mouth is very important to all types of companies within all industries. One negative review from an important person could have your organization facing some challenges. Customer communities. Some companies consider customer service to be a marketing channel and train their customer service representatives to identify sales opportunities and pitch products. Jewelry and suites, some airlines and banks. Other companies consider customer service to be a marketing channel only for generating positive word of mouth. Do a great job with tough customers and encourage a positive review on a website. This latter perspective recognizes that when customers want service, they don't want to be sold, but it also recognizes that empowered customers can help market a product. So the first one, uh, when they train their customer service representatives to identify sales opportunities and pitch products, if you've ever gone into any bank and you're opening up a um, account, or maybe you're depositing or withdrawing funds or cashing a check, um, you may go in there and then the sales rep, the not sales rep, the teller or the banker could ask you, are you interested in buying a CD, or are you interested in this type of account, or in a savings account? That's an example of that top one. And then all companies utilize the second one. If somebody's visiting your establishment, they want to make sure the customer is having a good experience. So at the end, they may say, "Can you go onto our website and give a review of how your service was um, performed, or how you felt you were treated?" Or else they send you a automatic text that asks, "Will you rate your stay at blah 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 hotel?" Influencer panels. Influencer marketing, targeting people known to influence others. Brand advocates are consumers who are passionate about a brand, recommended whenever possible, and are not compensated. Community, a social group that centers its attention around a particular brand or product category. And then the social network, another term for a community. Lately, influencer marketing has become more popular because of how long people stay on social media. So these influencers, whether they are your target market segment or maybe a potential market segment that you want to reach out to, these influencers can make your product seen to those people that are scrolling through their social media platform. Identifying members of influencer panels. These are just the characteristics of different influencers. Uh, then it's the definition. We have the active influencer, who is willing to tell others, but more important, others listen and act on the influencer's opinion. So this is not necessarily your influencers on social media. It may be if you are a consumer that listens to their um, reviews of products or their opinions about products, but these would be more like your Better Business Bureaus, or maybe they watch a consumer program on a streaming service, or maybe even on TV, on cable. Interested has a great intrinsic interest in the product category than the average user. Heavy user actually uses or consumes the offering regularly, preferably more than the average user. Loyal sticks to one brand when it works. Note, however, that this category could include someone who isn't loyal because the right offering meeting his or her needs hasn't yet been created. Lead user is willing to try new products and offer feedback. In some instances, modifies an offering to suit their own needs. You want lead users to suggest the modifications so you can see how and why they do so. How do you find influencers? They have to be actively recruited, ask a customer to take a survey, send random surveys to identify good panel participants. So, of course, your social media influencers, you should reach out to them. They usually have their information in their bio, and that's how you can contact them if you want them to display or market your product. Um, Other influencers higher up in the categories, if they're from government organization, or maybe they're from a privately owned organization that reviews products and services of your industry, those uh, require you to take a more detailed approach, as was outlined in the previous unit, in the salesperson's approach to gaining consumers. This would be the opposite, where you are trying to find a marketing team or salesperson to market your product or influence people to purchase your product. 3 questions to ask before activating a panel. What results are expected from the influencer panel? How much are the panel members willing to do? What's in it for the panel members? So maybe a pharmaceutical company is providing a new um, medication for weight loss, but they need to have professionals or influencers that can make informed or um, more educated reviews about the product or service. So they will choose from the doctors that are out there, maybe a private family practice doctor, maybe a health and wellness doctor, maybe a sports doctor, and they send them on this panel and they let them explain, like, oh, this medication is doing this. This is the benefits from my, this is the outcome for some of my patients. And then, of course, you have to find out how you're going to provide them with a discounted price for providing your product to them, or maybe you want to reimburse them in another way. But there has to be, for them to speak for your product or service or your company, you have to provide an incentive for them to do so. Social network sites and other social media. Social media catch-all phrase for the online channels of communication that build communities. It includes networking sites, blogs, podcasts, wikis, blogs, and other internet-based applications that enable consumers to contribute content. Social networking sites, Facebook, but mostly LinkedIn, are used to create communities. Viral marketing, the spread of the company's message like a computer virus through the community. And then user generated content, UGC, videos that average people create and post on sites such as YouTube or TikTok. or organic spread, sharing by ordinary people and not brand or paid influencers. Loyalty management. Early research on loyalty showed that loyal customers were less expensive to market to, more willing to pay a premium for a particular brand, more willing to try new products under the brand name, more likely to recommend the brand to their friends, more willing to overlook a problem related to the brand. Loyalty has two dimensions. There's the behavioral loyalty, where the customer buys the product regularly and does not respond to competitors' offerings, or the attitudinal loyalty, where the degree to which the customer prefers or likes the brand. Cause-related marketing, a company supports a nonprofit organization in some way in order to generate positive public relations, can help foster attitudinal loyalty. Loyalty programs are marketing efforts that reward a person or organization for frequent purchases and the consumption of offerings. Data collected from loyalty programs can be useful for designing and improving the company's offerings. Cross promotion, a method in which two or more groups act together to reach potential customers. Yep. You all are familiar with loyalty programs. One of the ones that I would think you guys are familiar with is Starbucks or any um, coffee shop. They usually have a frequent drink program, or you get so many stars for purchasing this amount of drinks, or this every day of this week, those kind of contests, or every time you go buy a drink, you get this many stars. Or there are those coffee shops or drink shops that if you buy one, you get a stamp, and then you go back in, you get another stamp, and if you fill up like X amount of stamps, then you get a free drink. Positive effects of loyalty programs. Good loyalty programs lengthen the lifetime of customers, which by increasing their switching costs. Blocker effect, loyal customers don't pay attention to competitors' messages. Spreader effect, loyal customers buy additional products from vendors to which they are loyal. Accelerator effect, loyal customers buy products more frequently in order to move to the next level of their loyalty programs. And that's the thing. Accelerator effect is exactly what Starbucks does. It's like they keep on buying. You're either purchasing drinks because you want a free drink, or you're just gathering all those stars so you can buy something bigger. Criteria for successful loyalty programs. Good performance by a company, responsiveness by a company, how well a company can take customer information such as complaints and alter what they do to satisfy the customer, shared identity among participants, the reason for loyalty program, names like Continental's Elite Pass or American Airlines Executive Platinum, loyal customer want to be recognized. And that's really true for the frequent flyer programs. They have shown that if a customer becomes an elite pass member or an executive platinum holder, then they feel that they are at a different level, and they are treated with a different level of customer service because they have spent X amount of dollars for that airline company and have provided business for that company through the amount of flights or trips they take. Clear benefits: boarding an aircraft first, upgraded hotel room or rental car. Community development. What is customer satisfaction? It's feeling that a person experiences when an offering meets their expectations. Improving customer satisfaction is a goal sought by many businesses. Not just by many businesses, uh, most often it's by all businesses, because the only way you can make a profit or provide attention to your either mission or goals of your organization is by having satisfied customers. So whether you're a nonprofit or for profit, if you're nonprofit, you're trying to make sure the cause that you're trying to get out there to your uh, community is seen through the services that you offer. Then, if you're a for profit organization, you're making sure that your products are the best out there and they're providing the benefits that you said they were going to provide to your customers so you can make profit and continue to make those products for your consumers. Customer satisfaction scores have been relatively stable for the past few years. A company's performance on key factors is critical both in terms of the loyalty and satisfaction it generates among its customers. Customer satisfaction strategies. Two critical ways to improve customer satisfaction is to establish appropriate expectations in the mind of customers and deliver on those expectations. Another customer satisfaction strategy involves offering customers warranties and guarantees. Post-purchase dissonance, a form of dissatisfaction, is more likely to occur when an expensive product is purchased. The buyer purchases it infrequently and has little experience with it, and there is a perception that is a high risk purchase. So such things as automobile purchases, maybe expensive electronics, high-end brand, um, either accessories or clothing, shoes. Those all can provide post-purchase dissonance. So for your first extra credit question for this slideshow, can you provide a time when you experience post-purchase dissonance? And I will not go any further. You can go ahead and explain to me a time you, as a consumer, felt post-purchase dissonance. Or maybe if you haven't purchased higher end products, maybe you can explain how either your parent or guardian felt with a post-purchase dissonance, how felt post-purchase dissonance for a high-end or expensive purchase. Measuring customer satisfaction. Effective customer satisfaction measures have several components. Customers' expectations, whether the organization performed well enough to meet them, and the degree of satisfaction. Complaint management strategies. Verbal terrorists, people who use every internet site possible to bash a company. Net Promoter Score, the number of recommenders on offering has minus the number of complainers. When a complaint is made, the process for responding to it is as important as the outcome. A company that outsources its services nonetheless has to make sure that the customer complaints are handled as diligently as possible so that customers are not left with a poor impression. It is very important to remember when a complaint is made, if you're working for an organization or if you have your own small business, if somebody makes a complaint on your website in the review section or anywhere where you have to show any customer reviews, make sure you have a way of responding to those complaints, whether it's through an apology, maybe an incentive is provided, or maybe you want to ask them to personally call you or call a number. Just the smallest thing of saying, we apologize that, or sometimes it's not good to apologize because that could lead into legal issues. So you want to make sure that you're working with your management and the leadership to create the right response for each complaint that you see, because some complaints can lead you into murky territory. So those complaints should be handled very carefully. But if it's a simple complaint of, I received really ugly customer service today, I'm disappointed for that, you can go ahead and let them know that we appreciate your review. We would like to let you know that we're looking into this. Maybe we could provide you with a free copy or something like that. Handling the complaint process. Listen carefully to the complaint. Acknowledge the customer's feelings. Determine the root cause of the problem. Offer a solution. Gain agreement on the solution and communicate the process of resolution. Follow up if appropriate. And record the complaint and resolution. So it's very important. There was one time I went to this coffee shop, and it was a really busy time of the day, early in the morning when everybody's headed to work. You don't have time to be standing in line, and this coffee shop had the order ahead, and you can place your order and go pick it up online on their app or their website. So this customer that was ahead of me had had ordered ahead of time. I came in after him. Nobody, when you're ordering ahead of time, you don't know if the person standing in front of you ordered before you. They could have ordered after you. But this customer was in a hurry. They weren't having a good day. So they decided to voice their dissatisfaction to the um, person handling their order, and then requested to speak to the manager. So the manager came out, and the thing that I observed from this situation was that the manager asked the customer either to go ahead and come with her, either to a booth to sit down and talk about it, or where would he like to talk about it. So he said, can we talk outside? And it's it's very important, for even if you're just a barista at a coffee shop, to be careful when you're taking these complaints. But this manager, I guess they felt confident that they could handle this. So they went outside, and the customer was very irate. They started saying blah 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 blah. Their voice was very loud. They looked very aggressive. But this manager listened carefully. And I think if this manager decided to be like, well, sir, or sir, ma'am, that's not how, or I apologize, anything, if they were like, if they cut off this customer's ability to vent their dissatisfaction, I think the situation would have escalated. But this manager was very professional. They listened to the customer all the way to the end, even if the explanation was poor or was valid. The manager let the customer know that his opinion or feelings were acknowledged because she was listening. Eye contact all the time. Um, and then after he was finished, she calmly provided a solution. She apologized for the wait, and she said she has this solution or that solution, and she assures him that this situation won't happen in the future. So I believe that the first thing that caused the customer to maybe de-escalate his or her anger and aggression was when the manager listened and had eye contact with him. It's hard when you're a person in customer service to deal with these things, but if you're just willing to listen to them first, don't ignore them, but just listen to them. And then if you're the person that can handle the situation or provide solutions, then you can say either, I apologize for the long wait. I can offer you this or that. And we assure you that this won't happen again, but not in a way that will make his position or feelings, his or her position or feelings, feel like, oh, those were useless opinions. I don't know why you're getting so angry. That's not going to go anywhere. So it really, to work in this uh, day and age, whether you're working at a coffee shop or whether you're working at a clothing store or even a financial institution like a bank, you are dealing with people at different parts of the day. And it could be a person's really bad day. And they just decide, well, guess what? Target's on you. I'm going to take out all my stress and anger on you. But it's up to you to um, decide how you're going to handle that. And of course, your organization will train you on the ways to handle customer or consumer complaints. Offering failure. Failures can be attributed to one of the following four gaps. The communication gap, overstating the offering's performance level, thereby creating unrealistic expectations on the part of customers. I want to ask you guys another extra credit question. Do you know of a company? Give me an example of a company that overstated the offering's performance level. So, in other words, provide me an example of a company that said their product or service is going to do something that it did not do, or that it will perform at a certain level and it did not perform at that level. And that's your second extra credit question. The knowledge gap, not understanding the customer's expectations or needs, which then leads a company to create a product that disappoints the customer. The standards gap, setting performance standards that are too low despite what is known about the customer's requirements. And then the delivery gap, failing to meet the performance standards established for an offering. Ethics. Sugging. Selling under a guise or phony front. While sugging isn't illegal, it isn't fair. Caveat emptor. Let the buyer beware, or it's your own fault if you buy it and it doesn't work. Extra credit number 3. Can you name a company or describe an experience where what you bought was not what you expected? And it's ethically wrong to do this. For example, if you look at the pictures up here, if you're uh, advertising your hotel and you say, oh, it's a 5-star hotel with all of these amenities, blah, blah, blah. And then you go in and has a nice view of whatever, blah, blah, blah. If you go in and you look at these, are they what you expected? Did you expect to see this type of setup right here? That looks like it's a hotel from the 90s or 80s? Or did you want to go into a more fancier hotel? Or did you want something more like plain and more modern looking? Did they provide that when you went there? Did they provide that to you? So not to take away from the extra credit question, but the extra credit question is asking you to share a time when you purchased a product or service and um, it didn't work, or it wasn't what you purchased. So uh, an example is the hotel. You wanted to go to this hotel, but you got this. Legal requirements. Currently, there are no regulations regarding sugging. The CAN-SPAM Act prohibits the use of email, faxes, and other technology to randomly push a message to a potential customer. CAN-SPAM Act, it's trying, but there's still spam in our emails. So spam goes to our spam and junk email. Spam and unwanted commercial emails similar to junk mail. Permission marketing, a term that was created to suggest that marketers should always ask for permission to sell or to offer buyers marketing messages. Because of trust issues and the overuse of permission marketing, many consumers create dump accounts or email addresses they use whenever they need to register for something online. Privacy laws. U.S. privacy laws apply to both internet marketing and other forms of commerce. The Gramm-Leach-Bliley Act of 1999 requires financial institutions to provide written notice of their privacy policy. That's why every year when they change up their privacy policies, they send out either a mail or they send it to your email, and you have to log into your account to see that document. Privacy policy statements regarding how a company will use and protect a consumer's private data. Privacy policies and privacy laws apply to both business customers and individual consumers. The Uniform Commercial Code, UCC, a group of laws that govern commercial practices in the United States. So, extra credit number 3 or 4. I think this is number 4. Can you name something that happened within the previous week of this presentation that happened dealing with privacy? Warranty. All of you know what a warranty is. I don't have to explain this to you, but just defining it, it's a promise by the seller that an offering will perform as the seller said it would. If it doesn't, X, plan X will happen. For example, warranty for your car. If it doesn't make it to this year or this thing, we will continue to service it, or we will continue to fix it whether a recall comes in or not. Protecting your company. As marketer, you have an obligation to protect your company from consumers who might not have honest intentions. A bot, which is short for robot, is a kind of program that performs automatic functions online. An advice to those who will be using online reviews: it's unethical to use bots to provide positive reviews for your organization or company, but it's not illegal. It's not, you should try to make your reputation stronger in a more ethical way. But of course, there are companies out there that utilize bots to provide those automatic positive reviews to increase their ratings online. Phishing, soliciting personal information in order to steal an identity and use it to fraudulently generate cash. It is very difficult to protect against phishing, so making sure your customer contact policies protect your customers can also protect them against phishing from someone pretending to be you or your company. It's really important that all of you, when you are opening your emails, that you are looking at who sent the email to you. Because somebody could send it from, let's say, Santiago Canyon College and tell you, please enter your personal information by clicking the link below. If you click that link and it sends you to a website that you're like, what happened? You're gonna be, it's gonna be a problem. So whenever you receive email in any of your email addresses, whether you have $1 million or whether you have $1, your identity is your own, right? So to safeguard yourself, when you open those emails, make sure you're looking at who sent it to you. Santiago Canyon College. Now, look at the email. Is it really from a Santiago Canyon College person? Any person that's going to send something to you from Santiago Canyon College will have sccollege.edu at the end of their email. If they don't have that, if they have a blah blah blah.com, that's not something from Santiago Canyon College. So make sure you're protecting yourself, not just from losing money, but your identity is important to you. So to each of us. So safeguard your identity. Make sure you're reading who's sending you those emails. And again, if you have any questions, feel free to contact me. Have a good evening, class.